so that our true nature, our true phoenix nature, if you will, rises from the pits of hell that society has imposed upon us, and we become the men that we were designed and created to be. Better men, choosing to rise from the ashes that we and society has set ablaze in the pit of hell. This is a Better Man channel where it is about reclaiming your life, becoming resurrected from the old, adorning the new life that will include your masculine nature, your manhood, the innate calling to be more. We're probably all aware of the mythological symbolism of the phoenix, which started in Greek mythology, but the Egyptians adopted and has become common knowledge, right? We're all aware of the phoenix, which represents the overarching theme of death and resurrection. The phoenix, which is immortal, lives up to 500 years, and when its end draws near, it builds an altar, and then it lays in the altar, violently claps its wings, and ignites itself on fire. And then the resurrected new phoenix arises from the ashes of the old. And then not only that, right? That's beautiful in and of itself. I set my old self on fire and this new creature arises, but then it gathers the ashes of the old, all of the old person, forms them into an egg, embalms them in myrrh, gathers that up, takes it to the city of light, representing truth, illumination, where one can see not only what is, but what can be. And then it goes to the sun god and lays down this egg as a sacrifice, meaning and representing that it takes the old self, it takes the old natures, the ill-fit behaviors, the less than characteristics, lays them down and sacrifices them, saying, no longer will I pick that up. I'm a new creature. And then it goes on to the next levels of life. What a beautiful illustration that represents. And I believe as men, we should grab a hold of that mythological feature, the phoenix. We are the phoenix. We have the ability to recognize old behaviors and characteristics that are not fitting for us to transcend. And so we die to that. We die to self. We die to the behaviors. We die to the less than thinking, the less than ideologies. We put all those in the altar. We light that shit on fire. We gather the ashes, take it to illumination itself, whether that be higher self, higher conscious, God, whatever you want to call it. We lay it down as a sacrificing, saying, no longer am I going to pick that up. No longer am I going to deal with those less than behaviors. I put to death the old. The resurrected new man is now here and available. And then we go about the next period of our life. And not to say that we have escaped darkness or the malevolence and ignorance of others or life in general, but during this next level, we begin to illuminate where we are less than, where we need work. We illuminate our own ignorance, the ignorance of others. We illuminate our flaws. We then take them to the altar. We sacrifice those, gather those, take those to illumination where we have examined our dark areas. We lay those down, saying no more, and we move on to the next level of living. A beautiful illustration. We are the phoenix. And on a daily basis, we can sacrifice the old, we can sacrifice the less than thoughts, and resurrect ourselves in something that has gained wisdom and knowledge and understanding from those ill-fit behaviors. And we take that to the city of light, aka illumination, truth, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, higher principles, whatever works for you. We take our less than behaviors, the dark, shadowy substances that keep us from our truth, our light, our potential. We take those to the altar, we sacrifice those, and we become this resurrected men that's striving and aiming towards our true potential to become more of a man, to become more masculine in our nature. And I don't just mean some strong brute, but I mean intellect and spiritually and soulfully, as well as physically, to become the leaders that we were created to be. And we are fully aware in this culture, there's a lot that needs to be sacrificed at the altar and set on fire and destroyed and removed from our lives so that our true nature, our true phoenix nature, if you will, rises from the pits of hell that society has imposed upon us. And we become the men that we were designed and created to be. Leaders, dominant, assertive, strong-minded, ironclad warriors destined to leave a legacy for the culture that comes behind us. A legacy that doesn't destroy, but a legacy that builds on, improving, adapting, adjusting, so that we evolve into the higher principled men and women and culture that we were created to be. You are a phoenix, and all it takes is begin to recognize what you need to lay at the altar to set on fire, gather those ashes up, and sacrifice those to illumination. And I promise you, wisdom, knowledge, truth, God, whatever it will tell you, hey, this is the path you need to go. That's the essence of being a man. That's the essence of listening to that inner tuition, that inner spirit, that inner guide that is going to direct you on the path of becoming a better man. We want to burn away the less than standards of society so that the true standards, the true north of man and culture can arise as that symbolic phoenix that spreads its wings and flies to the city of light, sacrificing less than behaviors for the resurrected truth of the overarching essence of life. You were a man created to rise, but not only that, you're created to set on fire the things that are not fitting your beneficial path towards excellence. You guys will hear from me next episode.